When we think of teaching sight words, we automatically go to the strategy of teaching our learners to memorize them. And while students can learn from memorizing, the science of reading suggests a more effective approach. The science of reading instead encourages the students to build their phonetic and phonemic awareness skills and use these skills in order to tackle those tricky sight words. Today I'm going to cover how I teach sight words using phonics and orthographic mapping, along with what to do when learners come across those inevitable irregular words. I've recently updated this download that has a list of sight words along with cards that you can use with your learners, and I've broken them down into common phonetic rules that they follow. Let's check it out. I created this decodable sight word list along with corresponding flashcards, and basically what I did was I took the sight words and I put them into corresponding phonetic categories. So for example, vowel and consonants, we have digraphs here. We have controlled vowels, we have vowel teams, we have diphthongs, we have welded sounds, Y at the end, complex rules here, a couple of complex rules. I give a brief overview of each one, and they are color coded. So as you can see here, well, hopefully you can see it. This is yellow. So the description here is yellow. And then if you look into, if you print out the flashcards, all of the yellow boxes pertain to that category. So as you can see here, the flashcards are pretty extensive and they follow the color categories that I give them. I'm just going to give you a quick run through. There's a decent amount in there. The first step in teaching my learners decodable sight words is I'm going to start with the simplest category, which is vowel consonant, simple 2-letter, 2-sound words. And I have pre-cut these words right here from the packet, and I'm going to take that out along with the sound boxes, this sound box template, which is a download. It's part of the download, so once you download this this packet, you'll also get this as well, along with some other sound box templates. So I have the word "and" here, and we're going to start with just tapping out the sounds in "and." I have these fake coins here. You can use whatever you like, and we're going to tap out the sounds that we hear in "and." After that phonemic awareness activity, then I'm going to have them build the sounds using these magnets, these letter magnets. You can use whatever blocks, letters that you like. There's even flashcards that I have that you can use. That's a free download as well. I'll link it down below. So I'm just going to have them build that word. And then afterwards, they can get to writing the word. And then putting it together. And I wanted to show you guys an example of more complex decodable sight words. So for example, we're going to look at the word back here, and we're going to do some phoneme mapping with it using these sound boxes. So I have cut it out, and we're going to first make it. Actually, before making the word, I would have my learners tap out the sounds using their hands or using the coins with the sound boxes as before. I just forgot to add it in this video. With these magnet tiles again, so I'm going to have my learners make this word. So b, a, k, and ck is a digraph, so it's one sound, so it stays in one box together. B, a, k, and put it together, makes back. Then I can have them write it. B-a-k, back. So same procedure for all of these basically. There's obviously some that might need more boxes, and this template comes up to 5 sounds. If you think this download will be helpful for you, make sure you check out the description. I'll leave the link there for you. Also, I would love for you to hit that like button so that this video can be spread to others that would be helpful for them. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I get that students will come across words that don't follow any of these rules, completely irregular, and also they might come across words that they haven't learned those phonetic rules yet, and they need to learn that word right away. There is a strategy for that too, and it's using heart words. The University of Florida Literacy Institute created these really awesome cards called heart words for sight words. I'll link it down below for you. It's pretty extensive on how many words that they have created flashcards for. And basically what it is they have taken these sight words and put certain symbols at the bottom, and if they are blocks, then they are phonetic sounds that the learners know and can simply sound out. The heart is something that they need to memorize. So the idea is having the learner only memorize this part of the word as opposed to having to memorize the whole word. So for this, for example, this is h, I, z. This says z, and that's why the heart is underneath it, because normally S says s, but this says z, and that is why that heart is there to help the learner remember that this S doesn't say s, it says the z sound. And this is actually a phonetic rule. If the S sound is at the end of a one-syllable word, then it says z if it's a single S. If it's a double S, it says s. So this is actually a phonetic rule, but again, the learners haven't learned that yet, so that is why that is a heart word. Let's take a look at want. There are the 3 boxes here that show the W, the N, and the T are phonetic. The A does not make the A sound. It says ah, w, ah, nt, want. You can do the same strategy of using the sound boxes with heart words. So let me give you that as an example. So we know that this S is irregular because there's a heart underneath. So what I like to do is draw a heart for my learner here, just to remind them. I did it again, my friends. So before making the word, I would again tap out the sounds. Build the word a, z, and they remember that is the S. This S says z because it's a heart word. And then of course, after using the same procedure, after they make the word, then they can write the word a, z. Once your learner is comfortable with some sight words, they can start putting those sight words with CVC words, and they can start reading phrases and sentences. And that is when fluency, the skill of fluency, comes along, which is a really exciting time. That's when they really start to sound like readers. When you get there, make sure you check out this video that talks about different activities that you can do to increase your learner's fluency, and I'll see you there. Bye!